Hi, this is my demonstration on shared reading, chapter 10. Shared reading is usually done with a big book. I don't have a big book, so if I was wanting to use a book like this, I would put it on the Elmo so that everybody in the class can see it, because during shared reading, they also are needing to follow along with the text and getting to read along at some points. So imagine that this was on the overhead and everybody was looking at it. And then when you do shared reading, you do many different strategies for reading as a whole group. One strategy is looking at doing a picture walk and deciding things from just looking at books overall and having discussions about it. You can practice different strategies with them while you're doing shared reading because everybody's looking at the text. In this case, my shared reading is I'm going to do a lesson on fluency, and specifically we're going to be working on prosody, and we are also going to explore onomatopoeias. I think I'm saying that right. So I would get started by showing the book to everybody up on the overhead, and we would say, okay, this story is called, and since it's close to Halloween, we are reading Skeleton Meets the Mummy. And I would ask the class, what do you think, just by looking at this cover, what does this story you think might be about? And hopefully they would say Halloween, skeletons, mummies, things like that. Before I would even start reading the story, I would then go through the book. So we're going to just look at the pages. I would say this book is written by Steve Metzger and illustrated by Aaron Zenz. And I would say we can see from the first picture. First off, I might even say, just by looking at the picture and the title, do we think this book is fiction or nonfiction? And we would talk about, well, since it's a cartoon drawing and skeletons don't really walk around, this is fiction. And I would say, well, it looks like they're happy skeletons. Maybe that's a mom we might talk about. And he's going off. It looks like he has a thermos. I wonder where he's going. Uh-oh. And he's encountering different things along the way. Looks like a bat. Ooh, he's hearing stuff. He's getting scared. He looks scared. He looks scared still. This is a Halloween story, so I bet it's kind of scary. I don't know if trees make those kind of faces. And we would go along through the whole book and look at all the pictures. Then we would start to read. I would say, Skeleton Meets the Mummy. Sammy couldn't wait to go trick-or-treating. He didn't even need a costume. Not so fast, said his mother. Sammy stopped with a click and a clack. I need you to bring this thermos of hot soup to Grandma Bones. There's a chill in the air tonight. But Mom, Sam said, Derek is waiting for me. It's just a short walk through the woods, said his mother. You'll still have plenty of time to get candy with your friend. Okay, Sammy said. He took the soup and stepped out into the Halloween night. It's kind of dark, Sammy thought as he slowly walked through the woods. Flip, flap! This is onomatopoeia. Everybody say it with me. Flip, flap! Did you hear how I said that? I said that very loud. It's big words. I also said it loud because look, there's exclamation points. And that means it's kind of exciting or scary or loud. Let's try it again. Flip, flap. Something flew past Sammy's head. Oh, it's only a bat, he thought. Whoosh, swoosh. Ooh, another one. Let's try it together. Whoosh, swoosh. Sammy froze with a shake and a rattle. Oh, it's only the wind, he thought. Creak, eek. More onomatopoeias. Sammy saw a monster. Is that a monster? No, it's only a tree Oh, it's only a tree, he thought. Scritch, scratch. Ooh, let's try that one together. Scritch, scratch. You could even say it louder. It's pretty big. Scritch, scratch. Sammy heard the crunching of leaves. Something was following him. Sammy walked faster. Scritch, scratch. It was right behind him. What is it? Sammy wondered. He was afraid to look. Sammy started to run. Scritch, scratch. It was still right behind him. Sammy looked back and saw... What did he see? A mummy! Click, clack! What do we think that is? What's the click, clack? I think it's his bones. Click, clack! Sammy ran as fast as he could, but the mummy ran fast too. Scritch, scratch. The mummy was getting closer and closer and closer. Let's look at that. So we can see that the text is getting, it was small and it's getting a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger. So when we read it, and if we're reading with any kind of fluency and prosody, we would just say it louder and louder. So let's try it together. The mummy was getting closer and closer and closer. Huff, puff, huff, puff. Sammy was tired of running. Sammy was tired of being afraid. Flippity flap, flippity flap. Sammy heard a flapping sound coming from the mummy. And then he had an idea. Uh-oh. Does he look sad now? I don't think so. Now he looks kind of mad. Look at the way his eyes are going down. Sammy turned around, grabbed a loose piece of cloth, and pulled with all his might. He pulled and pulled and pulled, and the mummy spun and spun and spun. Sammy couldn't believe it. The mummy wasn't a mummy at all. It was his friend Derek. You scared me, Sammy exclaimed. Well, it is Halloween, said Derek. And now that I've tricked you, it's time to get some treats. Okay, Sammy said. But before we start, I have to go see my grandmother. Don't you mean your grandmummy? Derek joked. Yeah, said Sammy. Race you there. Click, clack, click, clack. Let's do the end together. Click, clack, click, clack. The end. And that's how I would do shared reading with my class. I might also actually read this book again and have more reading done all together, and then kind of stop during the different sound ones and say, you know, what are they going to say now, and kind of encourage them to read along. And that's shared reading. Thank you so much.